isn't particularly what I wanted to do, but we'll do it anyway. Why the fuck is there no sound? Oh my god, I don't believe this. Why is this fucking shit happening? My goddamn open broadcaster is pissing me off tonight. If it's not one thing, I swear the fuck it's something else, you know? I don't know what's going on. I have no sound in the game. Maybe when I alt-tabbed out while it was loading, it could have screwed something up. Who knows? It's like if it's not one thing, it's something else, you know? I don't know why the hell it did that. No clue. It's open broadcaster is what it is. It screws up sometimes. I'm wondering if I should just save it early on. I'm not going to show you the effects because it's kind of a spoiler. I think what I'll do is I'll do the most difficult stuff first, and I probably walked too far, didn't I? Alright, it is getting dark really quick. So there's a hill here, if I can just see it. So we've got to get this stuff out. Hopefully without knocking everything over. And trying to move around as slowly and smoothly as possible. So we'll put the processor right over here. And oops, that's just not what I wanted to have happen there. I want to turn this around so they can see the panel there. We're going to need a bunch of empties. So that soil machine, it's about 50% cloudy, so that could be why we only got 50% of our material. So this time I want to get the soil machine out. And the soil machine, we got our solar panels and everything right there. Put the soil machine maybe about right here. Make sure the power supply unit's like over there. That looks pretty good. Now I want to grab the other solar panel and cable. It's 2100 hours, so we've got plenty of time before daylight. I think the time setting that I used was good. And just get that right out of the way. And there's our wire. I want to get that out somewhat gently. It's hard to see anything. I'll drop 2 sets of cables here. Well, it's being a little bit difficult on me. I do need that processing unit back there. Oh, there's the other solar panel too. Let's get that out. So the reason why it's bobbing around like that is because there's a lot of loose food and water packets. There's like almost 300 small items back there. So all things considering, it only gets better because you do use food packets and stuff. I can't see very well where that is in relation to the other solar panel. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter as long as it's not hitting it. I think it's hitting it right there. It's 2300 hours. It's like almost midnight now, so those panels look good. The sun comes up over here, and we can actually look at the, I don't know if the stars move. Anyway, let's go. We've got 2 items to get over here. We might as well get the furthest one first, which is the latrine. And we might see some notes coming up regarding refinery usage, but I don't know, I haven't seen them come up, so I don't know what's going on with the notes. You don't seem to be bobbing around too much. It's just the mouse is overly sensitive, I guess. So there's our first water note. You can see all the food packets over there. Actually, this thing has a light that I could use. It might help. So let's swing this around here, like so. Now that we've got all that stuff in, I'm going to swap tools so I can keep an eye on my medical. And so we're doing pretty good there. Let's go get the tent. And we'll set that up. And the other thing is being able to save the game. Oh god, I can't see nothing now. The light is obscuring my vision. I don't even know where my stuff is. I think this is right. So I had a little spot over here, I think. That's nice and flat. It's sort of in a nice protected area, more or less. Right in here, I think. I'm gonna back up a little or something. Alright, that takes care of the tent. We're halfway to sleep, so we're gonna be needing water. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna need an empty can here. We've got to hook up these cables. Alright, let's just go get another empty can. It's a little bit taxing on my little finger, holding that key down. I'm using the deblurred night vision mod too, and it makes a really big difference. So I would suggest definitely using that mod. Now we put this on the bottom, and we're all in the yellow over there. So we can easily have a liter of water, 800 units of food, and we're good on the vitamins. So when we eat a food packet, the food packet will disappear, so that's one less item. The water, unfortunately, sticks around, so what I'm suggesting to do is to drop the empty water buckets somewhere around in this area here. I guess right in front of the toilet or something. Did those vitamins go up? I didn't notice that. They weren't supposed to. I'm going to eat another food just for kicks. In fact, okay, good. The vitamins things did not go up. That's good. I'm going to drink the water too. What the heck? It's probably a waste, but so it's already getting daylight now, or pretty close to it. But I need to get over here. I want to make sure that I get over here and pick up. Okay, double clicking did not add my food packet. See, grabbing this stuff, it takes time. I can't click on it. It's not working. There's always this level of frustration in the game. It's getting daylight out, and I need to connect my my soil machine up. I wonder if I should do the water. Actually, probably not. Let's see, I can't tell. That's the green. And you definitely don't want to be running when you're dealing with cables. Just not a good thing. I got that one sorted out. See, I'm walking right on top of that cable. I need to get an empty in there. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Come on, pick it up. There's so much lag and everything's bouncing around that it doesn't want to grab. Alright, so this takes a couple minutes to fill up. Well, about a minute, I guess. It doesn't take that long. That should be full. So the water's got to be, the liquid waste has to be recycled to water. Oh, I can't get between there now. That'll help with some of the bobbing around. Although the viewing is a little bit difficult. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and that will take some time to get us our soil. So in the meantime, we go collect empties. Now, as a side note, our main issue is to get oxygen, and to do that we have to get what is called sodium hydroxide, and to do that we've got to get sodium oxide, and to do that we need the dirty water for the very first drilling operation, which is what it's doing now. So we mix the dirty water and the sodium oxide that we get out of that first drilling operation, and then we have to take another 20 dirty water, and which I could probably do. So we've got to do 2 recycles of liquid waste, and we can do that. Why isn't this going down there? Twice a day. We can only do it twice a day, and that gets us supposedly 40 units, but I'm thinking since the soil can's only filling up halfway, we're probably going to only be using 20. But maybe we can just use it. I think it actually takes a fair amount of time to recycle that water too. So it is 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll see how we're doing here. Well, it's not quite halfway. We got about 50 units. We're going to be needing to go to sleep pretty soon at high noon. At some point we're going to, let's see, We don't even need that over there, do we? Because all we're going to do is split this stuff to get oxygen for the tent. And the sun is not quite going down. I think I can go grab another empty. I do want to run that other process before I go to sleep though, because it gets dark really quick. Oops. Can't have enough empties over here. Now I'm going to take off one of these cables. In fact, I should probably take them both off. Come on. Wrong end. Wrong end. Yeah, it's starting to get dark. I gotta pull these cables off. Come on, let go. Oh my god. Wow. I'm having an issue now. There we go. That's disconnected. I couldn't get this set up the last time I tried it, and I'm really wanting to see if I can get this process going. Alright, so the first thing we do, we convert dirty water or liquid waste into dirty water, and we just need that. No, that's liquid. I think I have to go back here and make sure. Human waste to liquid water. I gotta do that one first. And it probably won't even survive the process. We got 10 watts out of the solar panel. That machine uses a lot of power. Now it's saying I'm gonna need to go get some sleep pretty quick, but at least we got it connected. I got 0 of 2 units left. Now before I do this, I want to try to save the game. And this is where it crashed before. Actually, after I got into the tent. And okay, it did not crash that time. So let's see, this one I want to delete. So we got a good game save. Now the question is, will I get a good... I had a memory problem, so I moved a lot of stuff out of the drive that the game is on, and it's got like 10 gigs of free space, and the game was pushing 3.4 gigs. So hopefully when I save it again coming out of this tent, it will save. If it doesn't, then I may have to do something different. I may have to, I don't know. I don't want to get rid of the water packets or the food packets, because it defeats the purpose of the whole scenario if you just Well, actually, yeah. He needs to have that stuff for my mod, because otherwise he just ain't gonna have the supplies to survive. He'll die. Oh no. Now if I hit the E key, I can get up early, actually. Right, so we're not gonna do anything drastic here. No, I cannot see nothing. Alright, so I'm gonna have to just hit the E. And we're gonna have to crawl out of here. And we're gonna try to save this again. And see if it saves. Wait a minute, I got a better idea. Let me go out of night vision. I was in night vision before. Oh, and I'm using the mod too. I wonder if the mod's doing something in night vision for game saves. It saved that time. I wonder if I should test that. Maybe we'll test it here. Alright, so let's see where we're at here. All of that looks good. I don't believe that he got any supplies yet. So we'll have to run this for the next day and see how it works. It is 10 o'clock at night. And we don't have any liquid waste. Then we have to convert the liquid waste to dirty water. Let me just look at that. I lost my mouse. There it is. So first we get our liquid waste from the human waste, and then we take the liquid waste and we get some potassium, some phosphorus, and it says half of that is dirty water. That's 10 units. I think I was going to change that back to 20, because when you take the potassium and phosphorus out, I don't think you really lose any water, especially that much. And out of the recycling from 120 waste to 20, so, well, actually, that's a really big reduction. And I'm wondering, I probably should change that number. But anyway, we get our dirty water from this. And then we take the dirty water and we mix that in with the Mars soil that we got, and that uses, so that would be 5. I wonder how much Mars soil I got. Let's go over here. Careful not to run over the cables. We got quite a bit. We got, I think it was almost 60 units. So if I run that for just enough to get 3 more units of soil. The first process is to take that soil to get sodium oxide, so if that's 60 units, but I only got 10 units of water, so that's that's 5. That's 10 units of sodium oxide, so that gets me 20 units of sodium oxide. Then I have to take another 10 units of water, and I have to synthesize sodium hydroxide. That's used for the drilling. So if I've got 10 units of dirty water from the second run, that will get me, do I have 10 units of sodium oxide? That gets me 20 units of sodium hydroxide. Now is that right? Let me see. Oh, I need to go to I need to drink some water. Let's see. 10 units. Wait. That's 50 units of Mars soil. So I get 10 units of sodium oxide, so I can use that can. I can use that first can. That's what I was wondering about. So I can bring that can over. And then we got to synthesize sodium hydroxide. So for the 10 units of sodium oxide, we get 20 units of sodium hydroxide. So we double our amount there. Then on the soil collection, we bypass this. This only needs to be done once. So then the second time, we take our 20 units, which is 10 here, and I'm getting, now see, this was not right because, oh wait, yes it is. You only get, I want to stop this. You only get 20% of the sodium hydroxide because I'm using water to drill for it. Now that puts a big strain on the drill. But there's actually sodium hydroxide in the drill already. All of that stuff is equipped with it. We just have to put more in as we use the equipment. So now we take our 20 sodium hydroxide and we can use that as our drilling fluid, and we go back in and we drill for more sodium oxide. So if we've got 20 sodium hydroxide, then 20, what's this, 20. That will give us 20 is times 10. I forget how much Mars soil was used, but there was some left over. Anyway, it gives us a surplus of, we get a higher percentage. We get 40% of sodium oxide, and no, you know what, that's not right. That is not right. It's supposed to be 20% because that's, I gotta write that down. So I might change the water. Let's see. Liquid waste to dewater to 20. Well, I mean, it's converting it to D-water, which is really usable. It's usable water for processing. So if I leave that at 20, here, this is, what step is this? Soil 2. Soil 2 is 2 NaOH yields 40% of sodium oxide. See, there's only 20% total. 40% Na2O. But 20% is correct amount. So in other words, we've got that gives us wait. We take that, what is it, 20 or 10? I can't even remember. No, we get, out of the 10%, we get 20 sodium oxide. We get 20 sodium oxide, so 20 Na2O, and that gives us, plus the D-water, gives us 20 NaOH. Then we take the 20 NaOH and we go back and get 20 NaO. So we're only getting I can't use up all my NaOH though. That's what the problem is. It seems like, no, wait, because there's madness to this. I don't even know. I've set this up right, but I don't even know my own game. It's really difficult. I wanted hardcore. So see, I've got to split the I've got to use 10 units to get the first batch, or 20. Then once I get the first batch, I use 10 units. Alright, and then that gets me, so it gets me this. Okay. But then when you convert the NaO, no, something's not right. I'm just going to jump back into my I'm going to jump back into my folder here, because I know this isn't, I know there's a problem here. Alright, so if I go to the actual drilling operation, there's 2 D-water used. The first drilling operation is correct, so we get Mars soil waste and 2 sodium oxide. Now that uses, if I don't want to use, well, I use, how much of that? No, I only have 20 D-water, but each 2D water uses 10 Mars soil, and I've only got 50 Mars soil. Wow. So that's only going to give me 5 runs. That's only going to give me a total of 10D water. It's going to use the first 10D water, because there's only 20. So it'll use the first 10D water to get the sodium oxide. Then you take the other 10 units of D water and you synthesize the sodium hydroxide. When you do that, you get 20 sodium hydroxide. Did I just X out of that? There's 10 units, so you get 20 sodium hydroxide. Then you go back, and I don't have any Mars soil left, so I've got to take another day, get more soil. That's 2 days. The first part of it's really long, I think, and I think it gets easier as it goes. It's supposed to get easier. So then we use the 20 sodium hydroxide, and then we get 20 sodium oxide. This is supposed to be a 2. I don't know why it's a 4, because you only get 10%. So that means there's going to be some Mars waste, or I've got 2 other units. I could get 2 other units of something out of that second. I could pull 2 units of magnesium oxide. In fact, well, you know, if I split, well, I'm getting, that's manganese. There's magnesium, and oh, that's 5 outputs. 5 outputs. Those are all 5 outputs there. So I'm only getting the magnesium in the 4 operation because it's located near it doesn't matter, does it? I could swap the nickel out, and I could put the magnesium oxide in that first section while I'm collecting my sodium oxide, and then I could put the nickel, but the nickel is 6 units because there's 60% of nickel, and that's the only place I'm getting nickel, isn't it? I'm getting 40% of nickel out of the rock. I can go back to the image. Wow, nickel's really at 30%. Nickel's only at 30% here. Why is that at 60? That's not right either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the magnesium oxide out of soil 5, and I'm going to put that in soil 2. And then we'll take the nickel. We'll put that down where the magnesium oxide is. That has to be a 3. The magnesium oxide is 60%. So I've got 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 out of 10. And then nickel, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 out of 10 with some waste, which I can't even collect. But I can get waste out of that first unit. And I do get a bunch out of the first one. I wonder if I'm going to put it in there. Where's waste? Where's number 2? There's 2 units left for something. I could use yes, I could use iron oxide. I can't use that other drilling process for the water. And I think I need Mars waste in order to produce the iron. I gotta make sure. So to produce the low-grade iron, which I can do in the first section, I've got to have aggregate soil, and in order to get the aggregate soil, I got to use the fly ash and our soil waste. It has to be in there. That's my only source of Mars soil waste is that's supposed to be a 2. I'll save this. So I've got the magnesium oxide in the first process now. When I'm running the sodium hydroxide, it gets me. Now the one good thing, now this is where you get our oxygen. We just split magnesium oxide with heat. And that may be my only source. Now, if I've only got 10 units, well, I've got 20. I got 20 units of sodium hydroxide total, but I can only use 10 because I got to use the other 10 to go back and get more. And then I've got to process another whole day's worth of soil. And I can only use, I wonder about changing that. Maybe not. See, once we go through this and get our magnesium oxide, we have to get our dirty water. That's the other problem. And the way that we get that is we get it from the methane vents. Now that's kind of a secret, okay? So that's like a spoiler. But there might be another way to get it. And that's what I was trying to look for. So I've got Mars soil waste, so I can get out of there. It's 10 units. So, and I get That's 5 runs. So that gets me 30 magnesium oxide. That gets me 30 oxygen. And I only need, practically only need 30 to get oxygen in that tent. That's the first step, is to get oxygen in the tent. I think when I get that done, that's my first problem, and that will be solved. So then after that's done, if I'm only running, I gotta figure out where to get the dewater now. I've got the oxygen, but now I gotta get the dewater. So where did the nickel go? It says only 3 units of nickel down here, which is what it's supposed to be. I don't think there's... Yeah, that's supposed to be... I got 4 units of nickel up there. Well, there is... Maybe there's more in the rocks, you know? Maybe I'll just leave it there. 3 units in the soil. That's rocks. So go back to the soil. And I've got 3, 6, 7, 8. And I'll have 2 units of Mars waste soil that I won't have access to. But maybe it's okay, because I will always have to collect sodium hydroxide. And then I don't know. I think I can split sodium hydroxide. I thought I could split it, but I could be wrong. See, it doesn't get split because it's always used for drilling. So I think I'm stuck here. Calcium oxide is... Wait a minute. Calcium oxide. Calcium oxide. Manganese. That's not taken out of the rocks. I gotta look at the chart now, because I thought that was a high amount. See, calcium oxide's up around 60%. That's why I'm wondering here. There's something wrong. Yeah, I can fix this. Let me just look again. So there's no calcium oxide coming out of the rocks. It's only in the soil. I am picking it up in more than one place. Calcium oxide. See, I've got it there at 50%. Oh, I know why. Because maybe because the smaller units don't get me that much. So I could probably pull 50% out of there. I mean, 40%. No. I could pull 50% out of there. Calcium's used in the fermenting processes for recycling. And I think that's the only place. I got it at 50% here. And the only other place is here. Calcium oxide. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can actually get 50%. I mean, well, yeah, that's actually 50%. And it shows on the map, it shows upwards of 60%, so that's well within the range. So I can get 50%. So that'll fit in there. That will fit. Now what am I thinking? So we got our sodium, so we go through that first process, and maybe we get 30, and we spend another 2 days, get 30 more, or 60, or however long it takes to get the oxygen. Then I was going to look at the atmosphere. We've got our sodium hydroxide, so now we can use the atmospheric processor, which only uses sodium hydroxide. We cannot split carbon dioxide. We get nitrogen, 10% nitrogen, a little bit of argon. We don't need any of that. We get 5% oxygen and 5% dewater. So there's really no dewater gain. The only dewater gain is from the methane vents. So the real secret is to locate the methane vent. And supposedly, where the guy landed, there's 2 of them. There's 2 grids alone that you can get that dewater from. And the whole purpose, that's 1,000. That's 2,000 units of atmosphere, and that's supposed to be an 8 too. Split Mars soil. Let me just check something here. I got 10 twos, 10 twos, 28, 28, 28, 28. Ten, 2, 28. This is supposed to be 28. It's the ratio of sodium hydroxide usage doubles when you use double the amount of input. So there's 2,000 units available of Mars atmosphere, and 10% of that is methane, because we're collecting methane. So that's 1,000 units of methane. So then that's all saved, and then we take the methane, we've got to split it. And we split the methane somewhere. Now the input uses oxygen to split. Wait a minute now, where's the water coming from? I've got hydrogen. Maybe this wasn't the route I was supposed to take. How do I get that dewater? I can't make. Alright, we got hydrogen. We get hydrogen and carbon. And we're supposed to input oxygen. So for 1,000 units of methane, that's 1,000 units of oxygen. That ain't happening. That is so not happening. I mean, I might get 60. That gives me 240 hydrogen. I gotta look at this list and figure this out. Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is, right here. Here's the process. So you get the dewater from splitting carbon dioxide into carbon monoxide. And to do that, you've got to have hydrogen. And what you get is carbon monoxide. You get 1 carbon monoxide and 1 dewater. But you've got to have hydrogen. And we get plenty of carbon dioxide from, like, we're going to get a crap load by cleaning those machines. So I don't even need to use the atmospheric processor. The atmospheric processor is basically for the argon. When we clean the machines, we get a crap load of CO2. So we get the hydrogen, we split the methane. Where is it here? But I've got to have oxygen to do that with. And we could use the internal supplies to do that with, but we're not going to. So then there's got to be a way to get a better way to get oxygen. I think the only way to get it's at magnesium oxide. So let's say if we had let's say if we had 100 units of methane, that would require 100 units of oxygen, and it would take 30, 60, 90. It would take 3 days to get 3 days to get. It might take 6 days to get 90 oxygen. 6 days just to get 90 oxygen. Then we run that into, oh, this just uses methane. I don't have to split nothing. Like, it splits the methane. So that's 90 methane, 90 oxygen, and that will give us 360 hydrogen. So then we'll have in 5 of those days we'll have 90 times 5, we'll have 450 CO2 from the cleaning processes. So we'll have the 360 CO2 and the 360 oxygen. That will give us, in 6 days, that will give us 360 dewater. Then we use that dewater, which is only 360 units after a week, and we have to use it to split. We have to use it to synthesize. We have to use it to synthesize the sodium hydroxide, I think. I think it's the only place. Sodium hydroxide. So let's say if we use it all to split that, that gives us 720 sodium hydroxide. Now the question is, we have to split our building materials. So we've got to split iron oxide. That does not use dewater. It uses carbon monoxide. We're gonna have a crap load of that. So we're all good on that. We have to split aluminum oxide. That uses carbon. It actually uses 3 carbon. So we're going to have a lot of that from splitting the methane. We're going to have, well, maybe 100 units. So that's like 30 units of aluminum oxide. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. This is really going to be tough. I've got to use carbon to split the aluminum oxide. Well, there is other aluminum that we have in storage, but we don't want to use it yet. Carbon, carbon, carbon. We cannot split. The only place that we get carbon is from splitting methane. Where the hell did it go? And to split methane, you've got to have oxygen. You get the oxygen. We only get the oxygen from the magnesium. Well, actually, once we start splitting the aluminum oxide, okay, I can see there's three carbon and 6 oxygen, so it can refunnel that oxygen back into the splitting of the methane. So we'll have excess oxygen once we start splitting the aluminum oxide to get the methane. To split the iron oxide, because that uses oxygen. No, it uses carbon. I think that's a cycle. I think it'll work. So then, to get we got to split the iron oxide. That uses carbon monoxide. We all went over that, didn't we? So there's carbon. Now there's silicon dioxide that we don't have to split, actually. Some of it we do because we do need silicon. Oh God, is that? Yeah, it's right there. That uses carbon, but we don't use a lot of silicon in a building. We mostly use silicon dioxide, actually, in a building processes. So I'm going to just write this flow down. So let's say 6 days. We go from dewater to NaO to NaOH. Then we go from NaOH to more NaO 10, and that gets us NaOH 20. Then we've got 2 processes. We go NaOH to NaO back to NaOH at 20, and then we use 10 of the NOH and the MgO, and that gets us what does that get me? Magnesium oxide. There's 2 units of, so it's 5. It gets me 30 units of oxygen. At 30. Then we've got to take, then we get the methane. And we get the fly ash produces CO2. We have to keep that CO2. We can't get rid of it, otherwise we'll be screwed. So then the methane gets split, and we've got we'll just say 2000, and so like 100 CH4 yields 400 hydrogen, and then we take we're synthesizing dewater, so then we take this process looks cool. We take the 400 hydrogen and the 400 CO2 and we split that. We're splitting CO2. I wrote all this stuff down, like the amounts and percentages and everything, and then I had to go back and figure out, like, all the chemical reactions are like all real. This is not fake stuff. This is real. These are real processes. So then we take the 400 hydrogen, so we've got a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's 400 H, 200 CO2, and that yields that yields 400, 200, that's 200 dewater and 200 CO. Well, so we're getting 400, 200 dewater. And the dewater has to be used to split the SO to get the NaOH. So that cycles back to here, and the NaOH, which we're always producing, so that only gives us I gotta synthesize sodium hydroxide. That gives us 400 that gives us 400 sodium hydroxide. So then we take that and we've got to split that gives us a total of what? There's 2 of those. Let's see, 200. No. Wow, are you kidding me? Well, that's only 100. Because we can multiply everything by 10, and then times 20. By 10 and then times 2. So that's actually 4,000. That's actually 8,000. 8,000 NaOH. If I divide that by 2, that's 4,000 NaOH for all the processes. Divided by 2. That's 4,000 processes. So that's 400. I think it's either 400 or 4,000 iron or something. I don't know. But it does work. It fits in here. Everything, the cycle fits. It all goes back to getting the sodium hydroxide for this whole methane. Everything is going back to getting the sodium hydroxide. If we can't get that, if we can't make that, we cannot do anything. So now we've got, so in the end here we've got 4,000 as total. So that means for 4,000 hydroxide we get 4,000. We got to divide that up into one. Well, actually we've got aluminum, iron, and silicon dioxide in one process. So in that one process alone, I mean, if you divide it by 4, that's 1,000. That's 1,000. I think. Wait. I think the number represents that. So that's in that first section. That's 1,000 iron oxide, silicon dioxide, everything. But then I got to split all that stuff. I have to split all of it, or whatever. Shit, what else is split? Split. I got to split iron oxide, and then that gets me the low-grade iron, and then I got to split the aluminum oxide, and none of that uses dewater, okay? It uses carbon, carbon monoxide, all of that stuff we've already produced. And the silicon dioxide is already there. So those are your 3 main building blocks. Now we take the low-grade iron and we have to synthesize the main building blocks, and that's an alloy called Elenvar, and we have to use aggregate soil. We should have, in the coming months, we should have plenty. Because of the fly ash, that's a split. That's a 50-50 split between waste soil and fly ash, so nothing can get wasted. Nothing can get wasted. And that outputs plenty of CO2, which can be cycled back. It would be nice to be able to cycle back carbon from somewhere. We're going to need sulfur. There's some other things that we drill for I can see here. Oh, that's an output, actually. There's manganese, which is at a low percentage. Every 20 units of Elenvar, you only use 1 unit of manganese. So, and that gets us 20 units of Elenvar. And then we've got to add the nickel to that at a 30% rate, and the Elenvar consists of the treated iron, because the low-grade iron's mixed with the aggregate soil, and that's the Elenvar 1. Then we've got to use 50% water, dewater. So the dewater goes back into that production at 50%. So the hydrogen and the CO2. The hydrogen and the CO2 make up the dewater. And if we have to, we've got access to more hydrogen in the the locked containers, but we can't get to that unless we're destitute. So that's the dewater. It's got to be mixed with the aggregate soil. And then that's Elenvar 2. Then you've got to treat it with manganese, which gets rid of the sulfur. Then we add the nickel, which is the pig iron type of material. That's 30%. There's supposed to be, there's no aluminum in this first making of the iron. Now there's another there's a better form of the Elenvar alloy, which I call Elenvarum, and that adds some aluminum to the mix, and it only adds like a 10% something, but it does drop it down. Then what I did was I also added carbon fiber to that, and that brings it down even more. So that brings the iron percentage down to 50%, the nickel to 30%, and the carbon fiber to 20%. So that's the building material that's more advanced. Then there's a pykrete. There's one thing for the sulfur. That's only for the modular construction. That's like way down the line, even if I get that far. Nickel. Then you add some stainless steel. Oh, that's actually for the battery. We have to make batteries, and we really can't. We don't get into the battery making. I think that has to be. We have to make batteries, don't we? Those are all 3 input. We can only make batteries until we get. That means we cannot make the MMRTG like I was thinking, because those are all 3 input. There's a couple of 2 input, but most of them are 3 input. That's the large unit, isn't it? So maybe I'm working on building that printer to be able to build this large refinery processor. I'm going to be stuck with 2 panels. I thought I was going to be able to build the MMRTG earlier, but I can't do it because you've got to have a minimum of 3 of these. Unless if I extended the processes out. I mean, I could extend the processes out, but it would take a lot longer. I mean, it could be done. It could be done, I think. No, I don't think it can be, because you've got to add 3. I don't know what it takes to build those solar panels. That's the only other means of power. I wonder if I wrote that down. I think I wrote down what it takes for those solar panels. Let's see here. Where did I write that down? That's all of my my timing notes. Windows. Yeah, I don't. Solar panel. The solar panel, the MMRTG it's small, but I can't use it. I can't build it, which makes sense. So we're stuck with the solar panel, which is a 3 by 4 by 3. A 3 by 4 by 3. And so is the large refinery. It's a 3 by 4 by 3. The hydro is a 2 by 2 by 4. That's the food making unit. So we have to make now a 3 by 3 by 4 or 3 by 4 by. See, the 3 by 4 by 3, it adds about another 100 units to everything. So that'd be another 100 units. It's still under 1,000 units for those materials. See, once we get into the large refinery, that's how we are able to make our own stuff. We have to make those chemicals. And I still see it happening. I still see it happening. I really do. But the key is to getting into that. The key is getting into that methane. So I forgot where the heck I was here. It's 1:45 already. So I've got my plan. It's just a matter of the liquid waste has to be processed. It's going to take a long time to do this shit, I'm telling you. So we always supply up here and keep a good track of our. So that's what we've got to do, isn't it? Now we're only getting 20 water out of this. I wonder if I could process 40 dirty water. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it that way. Let's see if it works. But I gotta process that water. I'm just trying to think. So we're getting the oxygen for the tent is what we're doing. I think it's going to use up all of that soil. And then we get the sodium hydroxide. And we funnel that back through once. We have to run the sodium hydroxide, and the second time we use the dewater again. We split that up 10 by 10. We use 10 units to get MgAO. So if we look in here, we get 10 units of sodium hydroxide. We'll have to get more. We'll have to do another round of the Mars soil, and it's got to be 50 units, I guess. So then that gives us 10 sodium hydroxide, and we should only be getting, see, I changed that around. That's going to be different now. This process is going to have magnesium oxide already in it, so it's going to be easier. It makes more sense to do it that way. So then after we get the sodium hydroxide. We're going to run this process once, and it'll give us twice as much, but theoretically we're not supposed to have it. Okay. Then we run this process here, and that does give us a 50% yield of magnesium oxide. So we really need the sodium hydroxide. I wonder, we're going to get the dirty water, and then we're going to split. We'll get the 20 dirty water, and then we've got to split sodium oxide. No. Let me synthesize this. So that gets us 20 sodium hydroxide. So then we take the 20 sodium hydroxide that we just made, and we run that back into here. That's 10 runs. So it's a times 10. So that's actually 50 units of magnesium oxide. So in the next 2 days we should be able to get enough oxygen. And what I need to do now is I need to look at what's happening here. So I'm going to watch this. So we get liquid waste. I have to run this for 2 processes. And those 2 processes take about 2 hours. 2 to 3 hours. That's why the game is run in 160 mode, because it just takes so long. And you've got to use 2 panels. As soon as this transfers over, then we got to swap that dirty water around, or the liquid waste, and create the dirty water, and that's going to take another 2 or 3 hours. All the while, You have to back him up every once in a while. Now, while these processes are running, I could run the rover up to those exploration points. Because I gotta truck that methane. I gotta go up there and haul everything up there to process the methane. That's gonna be fun. Well, actually, what I can do is, when I'm ready to do that, there's two grids up there that's got the methane, and the other grids, there's other grids up there that will have the other materials, so I can use the other grids, and I only have to move this stuff once. Oh, there it goes. It just processed. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Look at that, huh? So now I gotta eat, sweet, eat. I might as well drink a water too while I'm at it. Might as well go for the vitamins too. Do everything, you know, get it all done. God. Alright, so we're gonna take, now we have to take something here. There's the liquid waste. It's not quite spelt right, but that's the way it goes. And we gotta process that into dirty water. That's gonna take another 2 or 3 hours. Uh-oh, something's wrong. What the fuck? Oh, I don't want to recombine. Oh, maybe I have to have 2 outputs. Oh my god, what the fuck's going on? What am I? I'm splitting. My fucking god. Liquid waste. Oh, I've got to have 3. I've got a potassium. I have to have 3 empty cans in there. Fuck. Is this... I can empty this. There it is right there. Alright. That takes care of that. That gets me something. And the Mars soil. Then we have to use, once we get the dewater, then we take this 50 units of Mars soil, and we're going to have now the potassium and the other, those are like rare elements and stuff. I mean, I could probably keep those cans. So I might want to just, and I'm going to be producing at least magnesium and the other. So I'm going to need at least a couple more of these cans here. That'll help with the nauseating shit for a little bit here. Now see, there's no way that I could do this on that one suit of oxygen that he's got. So I had to supply him with some oxygen. I don't like the way this mouse thing just... We get a couple of empties, and it's getting dark already. Oh God, what happened? Did it do it? I think it processed it already. I've got the dewater. Alright, so what I can do now is I go to the soil, and I've got to take out the... I think I only need to take one out, because all I'm doing is coming up with sodium oxide, I think. Where the hell is the empty? I gotta put the empty in there. See, it gets dark really quick. It's just the way it goes. So now we take this out. I gotta take the dewater out. Well, I don't know what the hell that is. I think it's the third one. There's the dewater. God. What did I put in here? It's empty. Why the hell did I put an empty one in there? Oh my God. What the frig? I need to synthesize sodium hydroxide. I can't do it yet. I've got to have sodium oxide first. Well, how the hell do I get the sodium oxide? I've got to... What the fuck am I doing? I'm supposed to have Mars soil and dewater. I got that. Oh, I've got to have another empty can in there. I can't see nothing. It should go in here somewhere. There's the two empties. Hydrogen and oxygen? No. There it is right there. Sodium oxide and that's what I want right there. So now I have to go over and I have to get my food supplies. Oh God. See, I should have prepared for this earlier. That was quick. That one's empty. Those are empty. You have to have, and I can't, I just drank a whole liter. So I gotta empty all three of them out. That's my oxygen in there, which I'll probably have to fill up on. Oh, I can even pick up the oxygen. I might as well go ahead and... That's kind of weird because the oxygen's in behind. So we can do 30 minutes of oxygen. That'll get us up to almost an hour. And now we've got to think about getting sleep like yesterday. Well, actually there's 10 units left. That says 0-1 though, but it's not in the red yet. It's 0 of 8. I think it goes down to another number. Maybe we'll just save the game and hopefully it saves. Oh God, I was in that night vision mode. I want to go out of the night vision mode and save it again. You know, that says -1 on there. Why didn't it go red? It says -01 of 8. Well, it doesn't matter. I should go over there and try to get in that tent before I decide to croak. And it does say I need to eat. So let's get in here. So, I've survived that far. If he moves all the food up there, I mean, if he moves all of the the stuff up there. How's he gonna move all of that food and water? He'll have to come down. This is another logistics nightmare problem. No, it isn't, because there's a rack that there's storage racks. I'd have to fill up. It's one of them storage racks for the resource containers. I'd have to fill up every one of those food and water packages and drop them in that rack, and take that rack up full of holy God, that's just not right. Now let's save it again. Well, I got rid of a bunch of memory. I made a lot of room in my on my computer for the memory and stuff. But he can't go anywhere until he gets oxygen. That's the big thing. So this stuff here must be. I mean, we could make more water. See, that's potassium. This is why I'll be so glad when we get the racks. See, at the beginning there's kind of a that's an empty, isn't it? I wonder where my other potassium is. There's phosphorus. Why is this light on? Phosphorus. I've already got 10 units of sodium oxide in there. I wonder if it used all that soil. I'm thinking I want to process more dewater. That's what I'm thinking I want to do. What's this here? Mars soil waste. That's Mars soil waste right there. Oh, this is a nightmare of a game, isn't it? Because I got 2 cans in here. I got it empty. I got the sodium oxide is in there. I got 2 empties behind me, and a sodium oxide. So we've got to have the sodium oxide in the water, the dewater. So I'll put the empty up here, maybe. So there's this, that's the sodium oxide, and I need another dewater. Where is the, did I use the dewater? They're both empty. Fuck, I think I need to reprocess another dewater. That can't be right. Did I use all that soil? I should have. That's sodium oxide. I only got 10 units, and I don't have any. God damn. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I've got to reprocess another dewater. How am I going to split the sodium hydroxide? Wait a minute, what is this? Is that full? It is. So I've got to process another dewater. And I need the potassium back in here, I think, at some point in life. I think that's an empty. That's the Mars waste. And that's an empty. So there's the I gotta process the dewater, the liquid waste. Human waste into liquid waste. And then once I do that, I've got to change the liquid waste into that. So I bring out the, I just swap that over, and then I think I have to grab another 10 dewater, and then I use that to process the sodium oxide which is in here. So I could probably, I'll grab this can and just get it ready to grab more soil over here at some point in life. And I don't know what's over here. The shaking seems to be going away a little. That's an empty. I don't think it works up there. I use the bottom one. Let's make sure that we're all good here. Alright, so again, to recap. Right now we are getting our we're getting 20 more of that. I think we're good on our empties, except for the Mars waste. Well, no. As a matter of fact, now that I think of it, we're not going to go back to that first process because now we'll have, I'll have 20 of the sodium hydroxide, and I've got to make sure that I only use 10 of it. Well, I got to get oxygen. I'd like to be able to process magnesium oxide once before I go to bed tonight. It would be really nice. So it's already 10:30, and so it's going to take 2 processes here. And I don't know. It actually does tell me it's 16 January. So we're on the 3rd day. And then the first idea is to get our oxygen. Oh God, we don't have any supplies on me. I'm like, oh no, Mr. Bill. It's not bobbing around that much, so that's pretty good. So we'll grab 2 of those. I'll grab 2 of these. So there doesn't seem to be quite as much pressure now. It's a little bit easier, it seems. And we might as well go ahead and... You never know, right? When you gotta go, you gotta go. I can hear that machine running over there. I'm just taking care of a little business over here. Oh, it sounded like it just stopped. So now we take out... What the fuck just happened? Oh. This is the... Which I probably don't even have to waste time. Well, yes, I have to take it out because now I need the liquid waste. And where's my dirty? I don't have any dirty water. So I'm just going to grab this. And I'll empty that. And I've got to create dirty water with the other phosphorus and other items that's already in there. And you can right click on this to hold that still. So that's all good. And there's the process of getting the dirty water. And after that's done, we take the dirty water and mix that with the sodium oxide that's all sitting there. That is sodium oxide, I hope. That's just human waste. Well, where the hell did my sodium oxide go? Oh God, I hope I didn't empty it. I think I may have emptied the, that's just human waste in there. You know, I emptied something a little while ago. Oh God. I did. I think I emptied the fucking sodium, the sodium oxide out. Are you fucking kidding me? Where the hell did it go? I just had... Where's this can here? Why the hell did that say human waste? I don't know what I did with the sodium oxide. Like, what the fuck? Well, I've got my dewater. You know, I think I may have emptied it by accident. I think I may have emptied it by accident. Because I don't see any other cans here. You don't think this is it, do you, by any chance? Fuck, that's empty. You know what? I think I emptied that fucking sodium oxide. Jesus, what a fucking moron. That's empty too. I emptied something. You know? I remember emptying it. I might as well put the fucking dewater back in here. And go sit on the toilet again and do it all over. I emptied that damn fucking sodium oxide. I know I did. Fuck. I don't believe it. It's just fucked up. What an idiot, you know? Wait, I already got human waste sitting here. I emptied that sodium oxide that took a whole day to fucking make. I think you can leave all the outputs selected and just grab this. Well, that didn't seem to work very well. Alright, I don't know what... oh, it's supposed to be liquid waste. I gotta take the dewater out again. You know, it's probably best just to put the stuff that you made, it's best to put them in on the input. I screwed up. I probably lost 2 days right there. Why isn't anything showing up here that says 10 units of human waste? Oh my god. Now it's empty. There's my dewater. Why am I doing dewater again? I already have dewater. I need to process the damn dewater into, well, see, that's, I might as well just process this because I need 2 of them. No, you know what? I'm going to do it this way because I don't want to end up using 2 dewaters, 2 liquid waste to make 2 dewaters. I don't want to use the dewaters twice is what I'm getting at. Fuck. That seemed to have gone quick. What the hell just happened? It says I got 10 dewater. Oh, that was the liquid human waste. How did that happen so quick? Wait a minute, my dewater's right here. I need to combine dewater. No. Shit, I don't want to do that either. Now when nighttime rolls around, I gotta process the soil all over again. So now I'm processing this liquid waste again. Or wait a minute, I gotta process the liquid water into the, I don't want that. This is empty. What the fuck? I just put, oh my god, am I fucking losing it or what? I gotta take this empty out. Jesus, I swear to God. Alright, this is my dewater here. So we process that into, what the fuck is going on? It's supposed to be into liquid waste. Oh god, no, the liquid waste goes into the dewater. I haven't even started this fucking shit. Oh my god. I got human waste I could process. I don't want to process that, do I? Fuck, I need to eat already. Oh, now I need to drink. I'm supposed to process dewater. No. No, that isn't right. I have to use the dewater and the, I still have to process the human waste back into another 10 units of dewater, I think. What the fuck? It's not showing up. Or liquid waste. Why the hell isn't it showing up? Oh my god, this is so ridiculous. Human waste into liquid waste. That's because I'm choosing the wrong one. Human waste into liquid waste. And then I process that liquid waste into the dewater, and then I'll have two dewaters. One to reclaim the sodium oxide that I just freaking lost, and then the other 10 to use to make the sodium hydroxide. Now I'm getting low on oxygen, so let's go ahead and grab more oxygen. And it does tell you if you can oh, it let me do it right there on the ground. I didn't even have to pick it up. Well, that's pretty cool. That's empty. That's empty. That's full. So I've got a food and a water packet left. I put 20 of these cans down, I think, and I've already used 6. And we're going to be needing some sleep. I should probably grab the sleep right now while that unit's processing. It's 3 o'clock. So why not? Let's go ahead and do it. And before I do it, go out of night vision. And we'll save our game again. You have to save this game a lot. I mean, you know, what if something happens? What if the game doesn't save? Like you're wondering, did it save? Oh my god. Alrighty, so you do have to refill up your necessities before you go to sleep, otherwise you could die in your sleep, and that would not be a good thing. Now, I'm going to follow protocol and save the game again. So it's still doing its thing here. It seems to be running this processor at night pretty good from them 2 solar panels. But I didn't use the soil machine for a night. I missed a night. I wonder, out of curiosity, well, I don't think I can assign a vehicle to this. I mean, I have Explorer. I guess I can assign. That's Freedom. There might still be a problem with I'm going to assign a vehicle to this just out of curiosity. I mean, I don't think it'll go there on its own. I don't even know if the vehicle's in good shape or not. Oh god, oh god, no. Oh god, I can't. So, we have, by rights, we are supposed to explore our areas in order to do whatever else that we're supposed to do. Bring him up here towards me. That machine's still processing. I can see the smoke. This thing is... Oh, it's supposed to have the... Huh. Why are them like that, I wonder? I'll leave him right there. Go back to my man. Alright, so this is done now. Hopefully I don't screw this up. Now there's human waste in this one somewhere. That's my dewater, I think. That one's human waste. And this is my dewater. So now I've got to go over and I've got my 2 dewaters. So now I've got to go over and reconnect up my soil machine. So that takes care of that. Now I've got 2 dewaters. When I bring that over here, I'm going to be collecting, using dewater and that to collect something. I think I have to have some empties. I just fucking ate. What the hell? Oh, that's water. I gotta go get more supplies. Once I get 3 waters, it seems like I'm using water. Actually, I think I'm using food more than I am water. But anyway. I may have to go get some empties. So this Mars soil waste, I'll just put this somewhere where it doesn't get destroyed. Those are empties there. Well, that's human waste, but I can get rid of this. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. So now I'm going to take these 2 guys out because I'm done converting my water. This should be empty. So I got 2 dewaters. I think that's a dewater in there. Wait. That's actually liquid waste that needs to be converted to dewater. Shit. I I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's bring the soil over. We need 50 units of soil. It's got 30 in there now. So I may have to wait for another whole day, but so as soon as we get the soil, we're running the dewater to get the sodium hydroxide and Mars waste again. So I think that means I gotta have the Mars waste over here, I think. I know I do. Well, we'll have more Mars waste kicking around. Mars soil waste. So it's dewater that we get the Mars soil waste and the sodium oxide, which I decided I was going to dump. So I lost 2 days because of that mistake. Not very good. That's potassium there. That's my dewater. Those are empties. And that takes care of that. So as you can see, that's how the game goes. It's now that's in there, and it may cycle up one more time. It may not. So I probably don't want that to go over 50. So I could probably drive that rover up closer. Yeah. I might as well just leave my player right here. Wait, what does he look like anyway? Let's see here. He's yellow on food. Oh yeah, he's getting low on water, food, and vitamins, so I can go ahead and beef him up here. Why does he have... Oh, that's his capacity. There's 30 capsules left in there. I got a crap load of them, so shouldn't be a problem. Oh, that other thing is not supposed to be there. Oh, you can't see very good there. I wonder what his power drain's looking like. I don't know if these chemical batteries can recharge or not. I have no idea. Well, we're finally playing this game the way it was meant to be played. the quiet stillness. See his clouds up there, 50%. I hope my man's doing alright back there. And we got an Explorer, and it may have opened up this other one. I didn't really notice. It was supposed to, let's put it that way. It's the only part I don't really care for is when you switch the night vision in this thing, it kind of does that to you. It makes you go blind. I think he's using food a little bit more. I suppose I could probably walk some empties over, couldn't I? There's a rock machine, an atmospheric processor in here. We don't really use the atmospheric processor because we're going to get plenty of CO2 from the cleaning. So I wonder if I could just drop this shit in there somewhere. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Drop it in that hole. Wow, I've only got 2 empties left in there. That's not a lot of empties. And then you have to think that you've got to use processing time to build things. You know, if we build that, I'm just thinking now, if we build that unit to build the 3D printer, the 3D printer builds the parts for the outpost, and the outpost I want to build up on the hill, so that tells me we have to build a 3D printer up there. I wonder what that means. It means at some point all this stuff is going to go up there. I think, I don't know about those racks. I gotta take those racks and put stuff in the racks and carry the racks up there. So there's some empties. That takes care of that. I might as well go get the other. wonder if I can use this light. Doesn't really help that much. I'll put this in behind here. Hope it doesn't break. Probably should have just planted it. I don't know. Correct. I take the mouse wheel and scroll it out, and it puts that item further away so you can see where you're going, more or less. I don't really want it in front of the door. Alright, that takes care of all of that. Okay, I think that's... I don't think there's anything else back there. Oh, there's that module thing, which I could probably use. It might save time. What is that? Oh, that's where the rover came from. Wait a minute, what the hell? Oh, you know, there's cameras on this thing. That's what it was looking at. Alright, so... I don't see any other empty cans floating around. I think I got everything. Let me just grab that. I might want to think about eating. How's our sleep doing here? Yeah, it's getting down there, so after we get this stuff moved, the soil machine is ready to get used. We need to go grab some more food. So I think it's 3 food and 2 water. Uh, 1 liter. I can drink a water and grab another food, but I can't get rid of it though. And I'll probably want to get some oxygen. I don't really want to walk in there. We'll empty out our water here. I think that said it was empty. See, it just ends up back there. That one's empty too. Because you can drink right from... drink oxygen. I don't seem to have that many oxygen left down here. Oh, you know, I can use Yeah, but I don't want to leave those empties over there. I need another water, a vitamin, and another food, and I gotta go back over there. One vitamin got me quite a bit. Now, that thing's gonna process soil over there. I wonder. I think it processes 10 at a time. I'd have to watch it if it goes over 50. Maybe. Or if it just uses that 10 water. Maybe I don't have to worry about it. Well, I'm just gonna let it run. I'm gonna grab my sleep here and save it. The game saves seem to be going along pretty good. So that's all working. Well, I would have been a lot further along if I hadn't dumped that stupid sodium oxide. Oh, come on, get me out. I'm hoping I can get over there before the soil machine runs up over 60, 50. It's probably over that now because I went to sleep. Oh, it's only got 2 more units left. Good. Good, 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 good. Now, I'll wait till it hits 51 here. I can never figure out which way to go with this. I'll get this party started. Now, I've got Mars soil and dewater. We want sodium hydroxide, there's Mars soil waste, and sodium oxide right there. That's the process we want. Sodium oxide, Mars soil waste. And then once we get the sodium oxide, then we take the other 10D water, and then we make the sodium hydroxide. Then we take the sodium hydroxide, I don't know how much Mars soil this uses. $10D water and it's a 10:2 ratio because it's 10 Mars soil and 2D water are getting me 2 sodium oxide because it's a 10%, and the D water represents the fluid that the drill is using to get the sodium oxide. I had to do it twice. So that's going to be a while, and I gotta go here and put this other. That'll probably run the rest of the night or the rest of the day. It's already cutting out because of the solar panel. So I can probably go in the rover. I don't think there's anything here to. I know that's over there. This is all the stuff here, so there's supposed to be another camera here. This isn't right. I don't have the right rover or something. Oh, you know why? Because it's got the APX, but there's supposed to be another camera on here. I don't know. But what I do know is if I don't get this stuff analyzed with this rover, I do have another rover to try and complete the job if I need to. This guy doesn't have a solar panel on him, does he? He's got no way to charge because he's got those 3 instruments, because I never put that on him. There's 2D water left, so this process is almost done. And then we can take the sodium hydroxide, swap it out with the Mars soil, and there it goes. Now, let's see if we get it right this time, right? That one says it's empty. Let go of it. Alright, now sodium hydroxide is over the middle. That goes in there. I got the D water. And that's Mars soil waste. I don't need that in there. I'm supposed to have an empty. And what else? We're synthesizing sodium hydroxide. That should do it right there. Now why the fuck isn't it there? What the hell? Oh, it says sodium. I need D water. I've got an empty sitting here. Now where the hell is the D water? Where did my D water go? Did I just not make D water? That's 20 liquid waste. Don't tell me I have to reprocess the liquid waste again to D water. I thought I already had D water. Oh, you gotta be fucking shitting me. I know those are empty. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Potassium. No, there's no D water over there. I think I've got to reprocess this liquid waste. I don't know. I must have ran out of D water or something. I know I need I gotta put an empty in there. No. No, I don't. I put in this guy here. And this guy here. So now I've got the D water. Liquid waste into the D water and that, and there we go. And however long that takes. And we're going to be low on food and water again. That's already empty. Oh. Will that disappear? Well, I don't want to, I mean, it might not. I don't know. I just grab it, I guess. I wonder, I think what I want to do is those seem like they're empty. Alright, we've got our dewater. Now, this was our liquid waste. It should be empty, which it is. There's the sodium oxide. We'll grab the dewater. This time we got it right. And what are we supposed to get? Just NaOH? Sodium oxide. So we only need one empty. Oh my god, pick it up. That looks like an empty. How do you select these? They're all outlined. There it is right there. It says there's another one. Yeah, I don't want dewater to dewater. Sodium hydroxide right there. Now, where's my soil? I don't know where the soil went. I couldn't have used it all. I don't know where it went. I just put another one in here, I guess. Well, maybe I won't. I gotta go get that can. So it probably ran out of power. It's midnight, and I could run the rover. I can fill up on materials and run the rover here, and probably go to sleep again. Or I could actually go to sleep now while it's dark and then run the rover. Be a good idea, I think. I want to see if I can get that oxygen. That's really what I want to do here. I've been at this too long.